Oh, I can buy a house without money down.
Yeah.
Oh, without a doubt.
OPM.
Without a doubt. That was, oh man, when I found out about that, I was like, what? Okay. So, yes.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, viewers from wherever you're watching us from. It's your host here at Team Pursuit Estates, indeed finding you a home where your heart blossom. Speaking of heart, we have a great guest today, and you can see his heart. What's there? And I think Kenya is in his heart, or is it your heart is in Kenya?
Both. I think both, yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so ladies and gentlemen, we are glad to have you this day and also we are at Osoita Lodge, just to mention, where indeed guests become family. And speaking of family, we have an amazing family with us today. A great guest, someone who has been able to emulate the Mamba mentality, I think. From ama wewe ni mtu wa LeBron?
No, both. Yeah. I take the positive.
Yeah, the positives of each and every person.
Yeah.
That's how you learn.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And that has been replicated in, what he does in court, off court, and now in business. And we're going to talk about building dreams and homes, where JP is going to give us his insights for aspiring realtors. Karibu sana.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you for this opportunity. Mm-hmm. So I'm excited to be here and to share some knowledge. Yeah.
How did this start? How did you get into real estate?
Real estate? I think it was just a love of houses, but also at the same time just helping people, because at the end of the day, it's about helping each other. Mm-hmm. That's how I got into real estate. I just, I love homes. I just love different designs, and the different styles and whatnot. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You are so vicious in the basketball court. Not the vicious, the bad definition.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, now I'm getting.
Yeah. How has it been for you in real estate? How have you grown over the years, and how's your experience so far?
So far, so good. It's a lot of learning and patience. So that's how I operate. It's been really amazing. In the sense of I'm learning so many different things. It's a one field, but what I'm doing is so broad. It's not just helping people sell and buy their homes. I'm doing investments, I'm doing renovations, I'm doing building, new constructions and selling them. So I'm seeing all different, areas of real estate. Yeah.
Can you share your journey from a background in sports to becoming successful in real estate as a broker, as an investor?
I think what I had to learn is that after I was done playing professional, that I had a family and I had to take the next step. Because yes, you can earn a living through basketball, but at the same time, you gotta prioritize your choices or whatever you have going on. So my family was the first thing. So I didn't want to travel too much. I wanted to do something that I'm spending time with my family, So when I stepped away from sports, basketball, director of compliance, I got into real estate, but I started with renovating houses. So I bought a house and I did all the work actually myself. I didn't hire anybody. It took me about 8 months. So when I started, I really enjoyed it. And then I started thinking about how I'm gonna broaden my business, because I started a small business renovating, and then I was like, okay, what can I do next? So after that, I got my real estate license, and then I started buying houses, investing, and then I was still renovating, and I was helping people buy and sell, and then just took it step by step. So that what really, and then the whole point was I was working for myself, so I was still able to spend time with my family. Yeah, that was the biggest thing for me.
Yeah, so moving from Kenya to the USA, for studies, must have been a significant change.
Yeah.
How did this experience shape your perspective on real estate opportunities, in both countries? Maybe I know maybe you've not gotten into Kenya, maybe you're planning to, or maybe you're into it already. How did that transition impact you?
Yeah, it was, it was a great opportunity, of course. In America, there's all kind of opportunities. You can do whatever you want to do as long as, you dedicate time and effort and you just learn. I think the biggest thing is learning. So it was a good experience. I haven't invested in Kenya yet, but Kenya is growing and it's amazing. Like just being here and seeing all the different areas where when I left, it's not the same. And it's not easy to invest here in Kenya. It's people have that mindset that if you go to the States, you can easily invest back home. It's not that easy. Everything is expensive here too. So you got to put that time and effort and planning. That's the biggest thing. So I think it gave me it helped me learn and grow my mind going to the States and then just doing things there and then coming back here. And I'm very keen. I'm watching different styles and how real estate is being handled here. So it just helped me. I think it helped me grow as a person. That's what I'll take from that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anything catching your eye in the real estate
here?
History here, yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, I love the buildings, like the way things are being done. And then over here we use brick and concrete in everything.
Yeah.
Back in the States, we use some brick and concrete, but mostly wood and different materials. That's the other thing, is the different materials that they use here compared to the States.
You have a background, in social work and business administration. How has this influenced your approach to serving in real estate and your clientele?
Yeah, that's a good point. I think initially when I went to school, I wanted to give back. That's why I did social work. I wanted to help. I worked with different people from different areas. People, some people were just being released from the prison, drug addicts, and people don't have jobs and things like that. So it was serving the people. And in real estate, it's the exact same thing.
Yeah.
It's serving the need of the people. If a buyer comes to me and tells me, "Hey JP, I need to buy a house. I don't know where to start. Can you help me with this process?" And you walk them through the process. But the main thing is you try and help them attain their goal. What are you looking for in a house? I want a 3-bedroom with a pool or fenced backyard or 3-car garage, 2-car garage. So at the end of the day, I feel like I'm still serving, even though it's a means or a way of providing for my family. Yeah. And
indeed, it's a huge service because you're also, giving to the government's arm of, housing, providing housing for their people. So you're serving in a huge way in terms of providing housing, creating sustainable homes.
Correct.
And all that. You have experience in house renovation and home building. Could you share some key lessons or tips for individuals interested in getting started?
In renovations and building houses?
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing is you have to make sure that you know what you're doing. So you have to educate yourself. You can't just start, and I think that's the biggest mistake I made when I bought my first house that I was renovating. Is I just bought it and I had a budget, but I didn't really took time to study what I was getting into. So from there, I learned my lesson. I bought the house, renovated it, sold it, and I actually lost money. But I learned from that. So that's the thing, is I did not look at it like I lost money. I looked at it like the knowledge that I got from there.
Yeah.
So from there, now I started reading books and meeting with people with more experience than me, asking questions. And one thing about me is I am not afraid to ask questions. I will call you, I will text you, I will meet with you and ask questions. So I just help myself by learning. And then after that, it's the work ethic. You gotta be able to put hours in, and it's not easy starting off, So, and then you have to create a team of people who you rely on, and they're reliable. Because in real estate, when it comes to, renovations or even building a house, there's a lot of contractors out there that you can't really count on.
Yeah.
So that's what I did. Is my first few houses that I bought and renovated, I was creating a team slowly. I hired people to do this and that. I did some work, to save on money, but I had people, and people who did good job, I kept them closer. People who kind of messed around, I didn't go back that route.
Yeah.
So I think that's the biggest thing, is you have to educate yourself, and then you have to build that team, and then from there you're building a company, not a business, because a business, if you're not there, it can't run.
Yeah.
A company, if you're not there, it's still running.
Still running.
Yeah.
Yep. So as a real estate broker and investor, what strategies or advice do you have for young people looking to enter into the industry?
Yeah.
Mostly to make a sustainable career.
Yeah. I think, again, it just comes back to that, educating yourself. And then, from there, there's just so much knowledge you get from there. Like I was studying, I didn't realize, at least in the States, that I did not need 20% down to buy a house. I can have $0 and I can still buy a house. How? You can ask me right now, you'll be like, what?
Yeah.
There's something called OPM, other people's money.
Yeah.
You go, you find somebody who has the money, they don't know what to do with, and you find a house with a good deal. It has to be reasonable, and you present it to them. Because the time you're buying that house, whether it's a rental or a flip house, you're going to flip it and sell it, that's when you're making the money. When you buy the house, not when you sell it.
Not when you sell it.
Yeah, because if you go buy a house for $100,000 and you have to spend $50,000 to fix it, and the neighborhood, the houses range between 140 and 160, you're not going to make any money. But if I buy that house for $50,000 and I'm going to use $50,000 to renovate it, now I'm all in at 100, and then I sell it for 150, 160. That's where you make your money.
Yeah.
So you have to educate yourself and know, different ways of running your business. Yeah.
One thing I think you guys usually have is, the comps.
Yes.
How much impact do you think comps would have in Kenya?
A lot. So right now, I can't go buy a house, let's say in the States or even here in Kenya. I go buy a house worth, but let's say buy a house, renovate it, and you try to sell it for $200,000 in a neighborhood that normally goes for $120,000. That house is going to sit on the market for over 3-4 years because you're not going to be able to sell it. So you got to know your comps. That's the other thing, education. You got to know the areas you want to invest in. You can't just go buy a house in an area that's, people are not looking to move there. So you got to look really hard. And the comps, when it comes to the comps, you can still buy a house anywhere.
Yeah.
But you got to look at the comps and say, okay, this area normally sells for $100,000. And then walk backwards. $100,000, I want to profit $20,000. Now you're at 80. I'm going to spend another $25,000 or $30,000 to renovate this house. Now I'm back to 50. And then they're trying to sell it. Now, okay, let me start at 35. And then you negotiate. And even if you buy for 50, you've already won.
Yeah.
So comps are very, very important. No matter where you're investing, it doesn't matter. Yeah.
Very important. Could you tell us about a particular challenging or rewarding real estate deal you've ever been a part of, and lessons you learned from it or you took away from it?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think I've learned so many things, but I go back to my first house that I bought. Is if I had taken time to do my homework, but I'm grateful for it. That's because I learned and now I'm here.
Yes.
But I think that's the biggest thing. But the other ones are helping people sell and buy. And there's a particular deal that was not easy due to some privacy things. I can't say everything, but that's when I learned that I had to spend more time than what I thought. You have to be dedicated to do whatever it takes to help your clients. But we were able to close on time, and everybody was happy. And I had to go home and change and actually go back to that place, the house that we were selling, and clean myself. So yeah, you have to be able to do dirty work. Take out garbage, or go clean, or last minute calls, and leave your house at 10 or whatever, early in the morning on the weekends. So yeah.
And home ownership is a significant milestone for many across the globe. How do you approach helping people accomplish home ownership, especially in the context of today's real estate market?
Yeah, it's just helping them meet their needs. Whether they're buying, upgrading, downgrading, they're first time home buyers, or investment properties. I think one thing in the States is, but even here, buying a home is very important. It's basically opening your financial pathway, if I can put it that way. So I think I really take it seriously, and I don't take anything for granted. It's not about the paycheck for us. What needs to come first is your clients, because they are happy, you're happy, and then they refer you to the next person. So I take it seriously, and I make sure that at the end of the day or the month, whenever we close, my client is happy. I don't care about that paycheck. Sometimes, even if, let's say, it's supposed to be a $5,000 paycheck and things happen and you get $4,000, some people might be upset. But for me, my client walks away smiling. I know I might get another 2 or 3 deals from there. So. And
viewers, that's why we say at Team Pursuit Estates, finding you a home from where your heart blossoms, because when you are happy,
we are happy.
We are happy.
Exactly.
So real estate markets can vary greatly, from one location to another. And what factors should individuals consider when assessing real estate opportunities in different countries or regions?
Factors, again, it comes back to location. So look at the area you want to invest in, and then do your homework before you invest. And then also do your homework into what you're buying. Don't go buy a money pit. If you can't handle $100,000 renovation, go buy a $50,000 renovation. Or if you're buying a house and you know very well that it's going to cost you an extra $20,000-$30,000 to make it livable, I would suggest maybe you don't have the money, I would suggest maybe you give up a swimming pool or a 3-car garage and buy a 2-car garage and save that money, and then now you have enough money. So I think those are some of the things that you got to think about when you're buying a house.
So you spoke of location. Are there aspects of minus location for commercial properties? Apart from location, are there other things to look at more so now when you're looking at commercial?
Commercial? Yes, it's the same thing if you think about it, because over there they grade them, I think, A, B, and C. So C is basically the location that is kind of, for the lack of better term, run down. So let's say you want to open a business and you're trying to either buy or rent a commercial space. You want to look at that. So when they advertise it, we are required to say, building whatever code, whatever. I lost the name of it, but C, B, or A. So it depends on the type of business you're running and what you're trying to accomplish. So yeah, that matters too when it comes to commercial. Actually, that's huge, because you just don't want to open a luxury restaurant in you know, so yeah, it doesn't matter.
In a dingy place.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Could you share some trends, or emerging opportunities you see in the USA and Kenyan real estate markets that young developers or realtors might, capitalize on?
Capitalizing,
Yeah.
I think is for me. I think is rental properties. Those are the next thing. That's how to create wealth. You know, you buy one at a time, and it's about patience. It's
a marathon. It's not a short sprint.
No, yeah. It's a marathon. You gotta take it at a certain pace and be very patient. So I think if you can invest, especially if you're young, house hacking, where you buy a duplex, live in one side and rent the other side, and basically they pay for both of your houses for a few years, and then once you save enough, and then you move on and you rent it all, and just keep building yourself slowly. So for me, the way I'm looking at it is rentals. I love rentals. I love renovations and new trends and buying an older home and making it modern.
Yeah.
I love that, but I really love rentals because I think they're the next big thing. Like people who are into Bitcoins and stuff like that. Me, I'm into rentals.
Rentals.
Yeah.
Yeah. There are some also certain misconceptions, within the real estate industry. What are some of these myths or about real estate investing? And how can you debunk them for our listeners?
Yeah, I think one thing is people think it's easy. People think anything is doable. We watch HGTV and people sit there and like, oh, I can buy a house and just go renovate it in 48 hours or in 30 days. No, it takes way longer than that, and it takes so much time and knowledge. So I think, for me, I think that's the biggest thing. Because when you're talking to people or after you renovate a house and, you have an open house or people come and look at it and they're like, oh, we can just, instead of buying something that is ready, we can go buy something that is not ready and do it ourselves and save money.
Yeah.
They end up calling contractors and cost them more than what they had expected because they don't have the knowledge, they don't have the experience to do it, and they just assume it's easy. Yeah. So
it's not, man.
No, it's not.
It's not.
But if you put the work in, eventually it will be easy after you get that experience.
True that.
Yeah.
Building a successful career, you're a family person, maintaining a happy family.
Yeah.
Life is a challenge for all these things that you're trying to juggle. How do you get to balance your career in real estate with family time? And what advice do you have for others striving for this balance?
Yeah, for me it's easy because I do everything with my family.
Yeah.
My family is involved in everything that I do. So, and that's why I wanted to work for myself because I wanted my family to be part of my business. So, I take my kids, they're still young, but I take my kids to work sites and they see what I do. They know what their dad does. The same thing with their mom. They know what their mom does. So that's how I kind of like balance this work life and family life. It's easy because if I have to go somewhere and let's say my wife is busy and have the kids, no problem.
Yeah.
Put them in the car and we all go and they hang around while I'm maybe installing a cabinet or installing a toilet if I don't hire anybody or, putting in flooring. My son has helped me put in flooring. We just enjoy it. When you're having fun doing what you really like, everything comes easy.
True that. True that. Speaking of fun, hobbies.
Yeah.
I see your hobbies are really intentional. You mentioned enjoying woodwork and renovating houses in your free time. How do these hobbies complement your professional life in real estate?
In real estate? I think because what I'm accomplishing is actually maybe facelifting a house, like a house that was old and just left there. Woodworking and renovation. I'm basically reviving this house. And I've done that a few times. And by the way, because of that, I've gotten other deals. Just because I went and bought a house that has sat for 10 years, empty, that was literally at some point was going to be torn down and whatever. I went and revived it and revived it and actually, brought it back to life, and everybody was like, oh wow. So, and then I get calls. Hey, you fix this house right next to my other house. I'm thinking about selling it. Would you be interested in buying it and doing this? I'm like, sure. So just that, just simple things, and it's because I enjoy doing it. I go into it like, I have a vision, like I visualize, and I'm like, man, this house can be so nice. And when other people see, they're like, why are you buying that house?
Why are you doing that?
Yeah. So it's that simple for me.
Yeah. And there's nothing as sweet as, getting calls for off-market negotiations.
Oh, that's gold. That's what you want. That's gold. You get a call and they're like, I want you to buy because I've seen your work. And that's when you're like, okay, this is paying off. It's paying off. It's rewarding. Yeah.
Throughout your journey, who or what has been your greatest source of inspiration and motivation in real estate industry?
My family, my kids, my wife, my parents, my brothers and sisters. You just think back, what you've gone through together. And that motivates me every day, especially my children and my wife. They are supportive. They're there for me. We support each other. And, I know the opportunity that I have that, a lot of people don't have here in Kenya and in the US, not just here. So I'm thankful every day that I'm able to do things like this, something that I enjoy. I wake up, I go to sleep, and all that's on my mind is real estate. So it's, you have to find a way of separating, because otherwise you'll find yourself working 24/7.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
Are there any specific projects or initiatives you're currently working on or planning for in the future that you'd like to share with our audience?
Yeah. Luckily, I'm blessed and I have a crew that is working right now, even though I'm not in the US. I'm here visiting my family. So right now, actually, I have a new construction that is being built. Actually, I have two and one that we're going to start very soon. I have a custom built house that I'm going to start when I go back. And then I have rental properties that are, being renovated. We're getting ready to rent them out. So, yep.
Lastly, but not least, what is the most valuable piece of advice or motto that you'd like to leave with aspiring real estate professionals based on your own experiences and achievements?
For me, I'll just say put God first. That's very important for my family. We put God first in everything that we do. But also just when I do something and it doesn't go my way, let's say I lose money on a flip or, the renovation didn't go the way I want, instead of thinking, oh man, I lost money, or I lost this, it didn't go the way I want, I look at the positive, not the negative. There's a win. I'm always looking at what did I learn from that mistake? And then I take that to the next project, knowing that, okay, we messed up there and we're not doing that again. Once you mess up, you know what you did wrong. So if you do the same mistake twice, you can't blame anybody, right? The first one you might be like, I did not know. The second one, no. So I learned from everything.
Before we get into the quick fire segment, I know you are one person who likes plugging back to the youth or to the young people.
Yeah.
If you can look at this camera and just speak to a 17-year-old you on what you would do different.
On what I would do different?
Yes.
Well, I don't know if I should say, unfortunately, for me, I never look back and I never regret.
Yeah.
But one thing that I would do if I was 17-year-old, I would read those books, those real estate books, and just teaching myself early enough. Yeah. Because I think it would be different. But there's a reason that I went through what I went through and I did not read those books. I was a 17-year-old. I was playing basketball. I was still, going through school and whatnot. So, there's each stage has its own, I don't want to say problems. I don't know. I'm lost of words. But anyway, so I'd just say that I would educate myself more. It comes down to that education. And it doesn't mean just reading books. Just come and call Jermaine and be like, Jermaine, can I sit down with you? And you don't just maybe buy a water or soda and just sit down and ask questions. How did you get here? Don't be afraid to ask questions. How did you get here? What steps are you taking? What do I need to know? And keep asking. Keep asking. Make Jermaine tired of you. Like, man, this guy keeps calling me. Have that fire. In anything that you do, not just real estate. Let's say you want to get into whatever. I don't know, running a small business as a restaurant. Talk to those people who have more knowledge than you.
True. On to the quick fire segment. Quick one-word answer, JP. USA or Kenya for real estate investing, and why?
That's a tough one. Let me think.
No thinking.
No, I gotta think. I gotta think about it.
It's a tough one.
Oh man, that's a good one. That's a good one. Actually, I'll say Kenya.
Kenya.
Yes.
Why?
Why? Kenya is still. US has already grown enough. Kenya, there's still those areas like you can even see. You're like, okay.
The gray,
the gray areas. You're like, these in 10 years is going to be something else. Yeah. So I'll say Kenya. Yeah.
What is the most common myth about real estate you'd like to debunk in just a sentence?
Myth.
Flipping is easy.
Yeah, flipping is easy, but I think also is, let's say, in terms of selling and buying, people think you can just get your licenses and then get listings or buyers. No. And then cold callings and stuff. It's about relationships. Yeah.
How do you build these relationships?
Honestly, just being there for your clients and just, when I call you, Jermaine, would you like to sell your house? Right away, you will think this guy just wants money. Basically, make money out of me, right? But if I call him like, Jermaine, what are you doing this weekend? Can we just go hang out? Like, let's just talk. It's not about selling your house or helping you buy a house in the future. Let's just talk. I just want to see you and know how you're doing, right? And then you already know my profession. You know I'm a real estate agent. Down the road, when you're ready to buy a house, you'll be like, man, I always meet with my guy. I'm going to call my guy, So
That's true. So you have to use money to make money, right?
Well, not necessarily. You just go hang out. Just go play soccer together. Just go, if you're having issues, let me just be there and just talk to you. Let's just sit down and talk. So.
Share a memorable aha moment from your career that changed your perspective on real estate.
Oh, I can buy a house without money down. Oh, without a doubt. OPM. Without a doubt. That was, oh man, when I found out about that, I was like, what? Okay. So, yes.
In 3 words, describe your secret to balancing a thriving real estate career and a happy family life. 3 words.
In 3 words, involve your family.
Involve your family.
I'll say involve your family.
I like that.
Yeah, because happy family, everything is good.
it has a ripple effect
Oh,
on
yeah.
how you deal with clients.
Yes.
And all
How
that.
your day is gonna go and
Yeah.
whatnot. Yeah. So your family is involved
That's
in
smart.
everything that you do.
That's smart.
Yeah.
That's the secret. What's your favorite real estate project you've ever worked on, and why does it hold a special place in your heart?
My first one.
Yeah.
Again.
Okay.
I lost money, but because what I learned from it, that opened the door for all this. Yeah. My first house, and it was during COVID. My younger son was just born. It was tough, but boom. After that, I never looked back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You didn't choose to give up.
No. But how can you give up? Athletes don't give up. You don't give up.
That's how we do.
No. Yeah. You don't give up. I took that competitiveness and brought it into real estate. And by the way, for me, when you doubt me, that's when I'll work hard and prove you wrong. Yeah. So
I like it.
no, I don't give up.
Yeah. Maybe just a last word to our viewers out there as we wrap it up. Yeah.
Well, just thank you for having me, honestly, and just me sharing this knowledge. One thing about anything that we do, you can't hold on to the knowledge and keep it to yourself.
True that.
If you learn something, because at the end of the day, you're never going to do that forever.
Yeah.
There's a younger JP coming up. So if maybe I put this out there to a 17-year-old who one day will be my age, and they put it back down to another 17-year-old, and that's how we build each other up. Yeah. It's not about how many houses I can buy and sell and whatnot. It's about helping each other. It's about people.
It's about people.
Yeah.
It's about people. And indeed, viewers, it's about people here at Team Pursuit Estates, where we are finding you a home from where your heart blossoms. And indeed, it was a great honor having you guys with us. It was a great honor having you too, brother.
Yes, sir.
Looking forward to great things coming up.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you so much.
And until next time, viewers, it's your host, Jermaine, signing out. Salute.